Hello there and welcome to Black Jackal Gaming. The Space Marine Index is finally here. There's been a lot of information that's been released, so we're going to go through the captains and what units they can join, the buffs they're going to give out to those units, and have a look at the weird restrictions that are in place at times. First up we have the Primaris captain. All Primaris captains in the standard power armor are now in one profile, which makes things a little bit easier. So the units they can join are the Assault Intercessor Squad, the Bladeguard Veteran Squad, but they must be equipped with a Relic Shield, Hellblaster Squad, but again they must be equipped with a Plasma Pistol, the New Infernus Squad, a Standard Intercessor Squad, and the Sternguard Veteran Squad. So straight off the bat we can see there's two restrictions already in place. The Plasma Pistol one's a bit odd for the Hellblasters, but what is even more odd is the Relic Shield for the Bladeguard Veterans, because the Relic Shield only gives you one additional wound, and the captain already has more wounds than the standard Bladeguard Veteran anyway. So it's a bit of an odd one. All captains come with the Rites of Battle ability, so this will be listed on all the screens I show, but I won't go through it every time because it is just the same repeated. What this ability does is once per battle round, you can select one of your units and use a stratagem on this unit. This will cost 0 CP, and you can already target this unit with a stratagem if it's already been used in this phase. So it gives you the ability to double up on this, the use of stratagems. Their final ability, and you'll notice throughout most of these data sheets, they all have two abilities to go with them. So for your Primaris captain, your final one is the Finest Hour. So once per battle at the start of the fight phase, this ability can be activated, and the captain will receive 3 additional attacks for his melee weapons, and they will all have the Devastating Wounds ability. So this means that any wounds of a critical roll of a 6 will automatically wound the target with a mortal wound instead of the standard damage, so they will not get to save against this. This ends at the end of the phase. The captain in Gravis armor can join an Aggressor Squad, Eradicator Squad, or Heavy Intercessor, essentially all 3 squads that have the Gravis Terminator that don't have a jump back on the back. Once again comes with the Right to Battle, and their second ability is Refuse to Yield. Every time an attack is allocated to the captain, you halve the damage characteristic. This would make him pretty tough to move in battle, but you can imagine he's probably going to eat up a lot of damage on attacks just to minimise the effect this will have, but this will always come in handy. The captain in Phobos armour can join all the Phobos units, including the Reaver Squad. So this is the Eliminator Squad, Incursor Squad, Infiltrator Squad, Reaver Squad, and there's 2 separate Scout Squads, the Normal Scout Squad and the Scout Squad with Sniper Rifles. Once again they have Right to Battle, and their second ability being Master of Deceit. This allows you, after both armies have been deployed and you've determined who goes first, you can select 3 Phobos or Scout units and redeploy these units. They can also be placed in strategic reserves, and this is regardless of any units you have in strategic reserve, so you can go over any limits that are in play. The captain in Terminator armor has a few less units because he can only join Terminators. So he can join the Relic Terminator Squad, the Terminator Assault Squad, and the Standard Terminator Squad. He comes with Right to Battle and the Imperium Sword. So the Imperium Sword allows you to reroll any charge rolls for the unit. It's definitely going to come in handy if you're on the Assault Squad or Relic Terminators and you're running them with Lightning Claws. If you can get in with those charges, it's going to make these guys tear people apart. Next up we have the captain, the Firstborn variety. They've removed any Firstborn or Primaris keywords, however there's still restrictions in play in the background, so your units are still pretty much separated in almost every situation. This guy can only join Firstborn units, so can join Assault Squads as long as they don't have jump packs, Command Squads, Tactical Squads, and Vanguard Veteran Squads, again if they do not have jump packs. He comes with the Right to Battle and Finest Hour. Finest Hour we saw before. This allows the captain once per battle during the start of the fight phase until the end of the fight phase. He gains 3 additional attacks with his melee weapons, and they gain Devastating Wounds, so a critical wound roll of a 6 will become mortal wounds rather than normal damage. The captain with the jump pack, this is the Firstborn variety because we still don't have any Primaris outside of a handful of characters that have jump packs. So they can join Assault Squads that have jump packs and Vanguard Veteran Squads with jump packs. Once again, they come with Right to Battle, and they have the Angel's Wrath as their second ability. So each time this unit ends a charge move until the end of the turn, they gain 1 strength to all melee weapons within the unit. It's a nice little buff because it might be moving some of your 2 wound rolls from 4s to 3s, or maybe 3s to 2s, so it's quite a nice little buff for these guys to have. And last by no means least, we have the Captain on a Bike. So this guy is not restricted to Primaris or Firstborn. He can join either a bike squad or an Outrider squad. Outrider squads can now also include 1 ATV. This guy comes with Right to Battle and Swift Assault. With the Swift Assault ability, any ranged weapons equipped by the models in these units now have the Assault ability. This is quite nice having this on your ATVs with a multi-melter, because you can now move them 14 inches, auto advance them 6 inches, and still pump up fires with that multi-melter. So that's all the captains. So you can see there's a couple of restrictions in place. They all have the same ability in Right to Battle, which basically allows you to use a stratagem for free, even if it's already being used. And they all come with a secondary ability where the vast majority of them are quite situational, but all of them are decent little bumps. I wouldn't say any of the abilities were poor. They're all average to good, with some of them more leaning towards the ones that you can use more often than not. The Master of Deceit, the ability to move 3 units at the start of the turn, might be a bit of a sleeper option to begin with, because everyone tends to look at the ones that are more damage dealing. But having that flexibility at the start of the battle to set up aggressively and then move based on who's going to take the first turn, or vice versa, set up defensively and then move yourself into a more offensive position. Any flexibility you can give yourself in this game is always going to give you a dramatic advantage, especially when that flexibility allows additional movement. Movement is king in a lot of scenarios. So that's all the captains, who they can join, and their abilities. I'll probably go through the data sheets at a different point, but most of them are more or less in line with each other. There's not really any that stand out a vast amount in comparison to the others. They're all quite situational, and they all serve their purpose, and will probably see play in your armies in 10th. Maybe not all the most competitive units, but in casual there's absolutely no reason why you would not take any of these captain choices. Thank you for watching the video. If you have any comments, then pop them below in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, then please hit the like button, as it greatly helps the channel. Hit the subscribe button to see any future Warhammer content. Take it easy, and see you next time for more grim darkness from the 41st millennium.